Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully complete our student result, right? So now in this video I want to discuss about that student ID card. So how can generate that student ID card? In this video I will show you that things with the live example. So for doing this, first of all I want to add another menu. In after that our student result, and here one things I want to share with you. I have updated some of the icon, okay? So into the sidebar, actually now that is actually locative. So it's pretty much simple, from our template. So from the template I simply take this all that icon. If you go, you can see that is actually all that icon, okay? So I only updated this icon, so you will get that things from the template. I will share this template with you. So friend, right now in our sidebar, into the sidebar, after that our student result, after that student result I want to create another one, and that will be as a student ID card, okay? I name it as a ID and then card. So that will be the ID card. So I want to create one of the route for this one, that will be as a student ID card. So I name it as a student ID card view. I want to update it that our route, so that will be as a for the active link as a student ID card, right? ID card view. I want to create this route. If you want to create this route, go to our web route. Into the web route, this same prefix, in our report prefix, here I want to create one of the new one. Better I copy it, and after that I paste it. So that will be as a student ID card routes, okay? So that is students ID card routes. So here I have created that name. I name it, that route name will be as a student ID card view. I copy it in our web route. So here I simply name it as a student ID card, and that will be as a student result view. I make it as a student ID card view. And you can create a new controller. Right now it's totally fine with me. In our result report controller, here I want to create one of the method. I want to create one of the method as a ID card view. I name it as a ID card view, okay? So that will be as a ID card view. Perfect. So you can create that new controller as I told you. So right now it's okay. So now into the result report controller, I want to create one of the method as a ID card view. Now go to our result report controller. So that will be just like that same here. After that, okay, after that method I want to create one of the new one, okay? I want to create one of the new one as a public, and then function, and then our method name. So that will be our method. So into this method we will need another table. We will need another, if you go to our database, into the database there is actually assign student, okay? So if you open that assign student table, so that is the table will be needed, okay? So from here there is our class ID, with this year ID I will get all the data. I want to visible that roll number. If you want to, I have also created another foreign key of our user table as a student ID, right? So perfect. So that is the table will be needed. For the reasons I want to actually load, that means I want to use this our table, that is this table model. So first of all, here after this I want to use it. So I want to use it our model name. If you go to our model, that means that is our model. So I have created this table as a assign student, okay? So now I want to copy it, and you can see to the assign student model I have already created that relation with our user table, the discount table, student class, student year, then shift, okay? So here I have created this all that relationship between all this table. So now I want to actually load this model as a assign student. So I simply updated that assign student, okay friend? I hope it's very much clear to you. And after that I want to add that two of these things will be needed. If I want to get with the year, I take one of the variable as a data, and with this data I want to take that variable as years, okay? Years, and then that will be not much hard for you. That will be just like that same before. That is a student year. With our student year model I want to get all the data. So I simply get all the data. And also I take another one as a data, and here I name it as a classes, okay? With the from the take that one the variable as a classes, then our student class, that is our student class model. From our student class model I get all that our student class. Okay, so I simply take both of these with two different variable as years and the class, I take it with our data array. And after that I want to create another return view page, that means the return and then view. So in our backend, into the backend, in our report, so into the report folder I want to create one of the new folder. Into the report folder I want to create one of the new folder and I just name it as the ID card. Okay, ID card, and into the ID card I create one of the view page as ID card view. Okay, and then I simply pass all that our data array, that means that is our data. So I just simply pass it on here. I hope it's very much clear to you, friend. So now we have to create this folder in our report folder, that is a report folder, and here I want to create another new folder and I name it as a ID card. So to the ID card, here I want to create one of the file name as ID card view. So here I want to create one of the new file and name it as a save as, and name it as ID card view .blade.php. Okay, so that will be our this view page. So now we have to design this view page, friend, that will be just like our student result. Okay, for the student result, if you go to that student result view, I simply copy everything from here, and then in our ID card view here I simply paste it. Okay, I simply paste it. So here only we need the two field, that will be as a year will be needed, the class will be needed, and then exam type, we don't need this an exam type, so better I remove it. Okay, I remove this exam type, and then there is our submit button for the search. So here I also want to, the concept will be just like that same. Like if you now you can see that is exactly the same as a year. So for the reasons I take that same variable as a years variable and the classes variable. So that is our year ID and that is a years. So from here I pass that as a years. So it should be load all that our years, right? And also it should be load all that our classes. Now if you click as a save all, and now if you go to our site, now click as a refresh. So now if you go to that report management, you can see there is a new one is added as a student ID card. So if you click as a student ID card, it's perfect. Now here is all that here is now successfully loaded and all that class is now loaded, right? So right now there is actually the 3. Better I want to make it as a call MD4. Okay, before that I was actually the 4, for the reasons I take it as a 3. So right now I want to make it as a 4 and I want to update it that 4, that will be as a 4 column, that means the 8 and then 12. Every row they have that 12 column. So now I want to update it that 12 column. Okay, now if you click as a save all, and after that if you now refresh it, yeah, it's now looking great. So that is our student result, right? Now I want to change it. I want to change that name as a student ID card. Okay, so that will be our name. Now if you click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, yeah, that is a manage student ID card. So now friend, I want to do, when you select any year, and after that if you select as a class and then you click as a search, then it will be load one of the PDF. Okay, so with this PDF I want to display all that our table data, that means this assign student table data. So if you want to do that work, first of all we have to create one of the route. So that is our total function, and there is our search as a submit, that is our type as a submit, and after that is our form, right? So now we into this form. Okay, now into this form area we have to create one of the route, that will be one of the get method. Into the action, that will be as a report student ID card get. Okay, I name it as a student ID card get, and also it should be targeted with one of the new tab. So now we have to create this route. Now go to our web. Now I copied, that will be another get method. So into the get method area I name it. Into the view here I name it as a report student ID card get. So that will be just like that same before. So I only want to update it that our URL will be as a student ID card get, and in our result report controller I want to create one of the method as a ID card get. Okay, so this type of one of the method we have to create in our result report controller. Now go to our result report controller. After this I name it as a public, and then function, and then our method. So that is our method, right? So that will be one of the get all that request that I have to take. So for the reasons I pass that as a request, and then the dollar request. Okay, then the dollar request. So now from to this position we have to add some of the condition, and with this condition we have to get all that our data, right friend? So better I want to continue this process. In our next video I will create our this method. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.